We are here. Let's
Hello.
go. What up, everybody? Welcome to Challenge Express. Chew, chew, motherfucker. I am here with my boy Adonis, my co-host. What's going on, Adonis? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Mm,
Was trying to rush making my coffee to be here on time for you,
bro,
but I got it and I'm ready.
I'm so
I'm ready.
jealous.
I'm
So
ready
I
for
stole some coffee pods from work, and
this.
I get home and I'm about to make some coffee today, and I realize I stole decaf. So
You know what? That's what you get for stealing. You
I
get
mean,
for
it's
stealing.
there for us. It's kind of stealing.
Okay, okay.
But I'm supposed to make coffee there, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take some coffee home. But yeah, that is what I get. That's karma right there. So no coffee 2 days in a row for me. What's going on?
Oh man. Oh my God,
I didn't think
bro.
I could do it, but here I am.
Jesus, you really are just going.
Dude, yeah, life's a
Damn.
mess.
Yeah, this sounds
Um,
horrible.
but every Wednesday there is a certain show that's on, that we all love. So at least that's something that's consistent in my life.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Ride or Dies. This was episode 7 that we're gonna recap.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, the season's going strong still. Nothing too crazy has happened when it comes to twists. So, it's the same stuff. I have a feeling we're gonna start getting some twists maybe at the end of this episode. We did get kind of like a mid-season trailer, I think. I don't think it was like a next on it, although it could have been. My sling is weird and it cuts off certain areas. But it kind of did look like Nelson's going to be a big part of this season going forward, which he was a big part of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. I don't know what kind of twists that TJ has up his sleeve because we
Mm-hmm.
know it's a ride or die. So it would make sense if these pairs stay together throughout the whole season. So what other twists could take place? Maybe like the fact of voting in so many teams, maybe that gets
Yeah,
lesser. I'm not sure.
that unless you count like bananas and not like the vets like Jordan, Misa, Darrell, and Veronica coming in when they did as the twists,
Mm,
they've kept it kind of straightforward, which is
yeah.
like in a weird way refreshing because the last few seasons it felt like every episode there was
Yeah.
something to change it up. So
That's
it's
very
nice to
true.
kind of see something more simple. It's like a little throwback to how it used to be.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad about it at least.
Yeah,
So
I'm liking it. So to start off the episode, we get a super top secret little discussion between Tori and Devin, which us viewers needed, I feel like, because we've heard through the grapevines about this one challenge deal or a 3-week deal. We heard Tori confirm it in this episode. It was like a 3-week deal.
mm,
So they're talking about whether or not they want to re-up this deal. Devin
mm.
wants to, Tori does not. Where do you stand?
Where do I stand with this?
Yeah, like if you were a part of that alliance, what would you be thinking?
Oof. I think I would be leaning more towards of not renegotiating this deal because I feel like Michelle and Jay in the last 2 weeks gained a lot of heat. And also, I know this is more head into the episode, but people are starting to take notice that
Yeah,
Devin and Tori's names aren't being called.
yeah. You could
And
only
it's
do this
like,
for so long,
yeah,
and they've done a great job at it, but to continue doing it kind of ruins the part where you did a good job at it
yeah,
because now Devin went all out this episode. I didn't
yeah.
think,
Oh,
I don't, it surprised me. Did it surprise
yeah.
you?
Like, I don't know. I feel like today it was just like this episode was definitely the spiciest episode out of the whole
Yes.
season.
Yeah, so much. Was this the episode? There was just so much politicking.
Yeah,
There's so
so
much,
much
so much talk
politics,
about
so much
politics.
like someone had said it. It was like a game of telephone. It felt like we saw one conversation lead to another, to another, to another,
Yeah,
and then it just blew up. It was like,
yeah,
oh my god, you know?
yeah. It must have been
So
so confusing and so messy. I mean, MTV did a good job at editing it because we really were able to see like the beginning of the end of all these like politicking deals being made. So
yeah.
it was fun to watch. You know, it was heavily politicking, but that's what we love to see on the challenge. So
Mm.
because it always ends up being messy.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of heat on them, and if they want, I think they got what they needed out of Jay and Michelle. You don't want to go to a final with Jay and Michelle. So if you could work with them in the beginning of the game and then go back to your vet alliance that thought you were working with them like the whole time in a pseudo type of way, then I think that's best case scenario. I think Devin is trying to bite off more than he could chew.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, Tori is just like following along. You could see it on Tori's face. This is making her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But she's putting her emotions aside for what she thinks would be better for their game. And she
Mm.
trusts Devin's opinion on what would be better for their game. So it's rough because like Tori's like kind of in a way pseudo going against Anissa, who we know is like her best friend. It's not necessarily attacking Anissa, but it's not looking out for them at all, and in a way attacking because your partner is making deals with the other side of the house to vote your friends in. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very weird dynamic, which I'm looking forward to see
Mm.
if like
I like it though. I like
yes.
Tori letting kind of Devin do this because one thing I've noticed are those challengers who go season after season after season without winning. Usually 9 times out of 10, the seasons they end up winning is they start playing a completely different way than they
Sarah.
have been. Sarah. So, I don't know if it'll work out, but
Yeah.
like I'm not mad about this strategy. But
Yeah.
I definitely was agreeing with Tori. Like, I don't think they should. Like, bro, don't. No,
Don't
they
read
got
it
too much
up.
heat. Too much
No.
heat. Don't fuck
Yeah.
it up.
But yeah, we'll see where that goes. I mean, we do see it kind of blew up for no reason because of Devin. And Devin kind of pissed me off in some moments of this episode, which we'll get to. Amber knows about Devin's deal because Michelle and Amber are good friends, and Michelle did tell Amber about the 1 day deal or one challenge deal. So Amber, of course, knows that Devin is sneaky and scheming around the house. And so I don't blame her for feeling some type of way about Devin. People love to hate Amber, and it's hard because we're not in this house, this challenge house, and we're not around Amber. But a lot of females don't trust Amber, and a lot of people just like using her as like an excuse when like shit gets messy or when like gossip is going around, rumors. People just love to like say it started with Amber and shit like that. It's hard to see through the TV. I'd see it a little bit, but I think she gets a little too much hate for
I
what
don't
she
know.
actually does.
Maybe us dudes are just dumb.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Just
I
not
know that.
noticing
I mean,
it because I can't really remember a time where she did something that would make me look at her like that.
yeah, I
Did you
remember like
recall? I can't recall a time.
Double Agents where her and Darrell won a daily challenge one time, and like she wasn't really saying anything in the deliberation when it was her and Darrell because she had like other plans going on. But that was the only thing that I could think of, like when she was being sneaky and conniving. But that wasn't even like too big of a deal either.
Yeah, but
Um,
also she's from Big Brother, so maybe that has another thing to do with it.
yeah, honestly, out of all the Big Brother people, though, I feel like she's the least sneaky and deceiving. But hey, I'm a guy. I'm
Yeah,
dumb, so I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Maybe we're just dumbasses and just can't see. Maybe I should clean my glasses or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So
I need new prescription. Yeah. Um, Nelson tells Amber that if he wins, she's not on his radar. It's very easy to say these things when you don't think you're gonna win.
right, and just also another thing. I think one issue that I've been having with this season, the editing has been making it painfully obvious who's going in, or at least who's getting voted in.
Yeah,
I'm
Amber and
sorry.
Chauncey didn't get 1 minute of screen time, and all of a sudden, back to
Exactly.
back to back to back.
Yeah, they're getting all this screen time, and I'm just like, they're going in, aren't they?
Yeah, I said that's literally I was just about to say that. I said clearly this episode is featuring Amber and Chauncey. Like it's so
Right.
obvious.
Where,
And
where did this
they're
come
not
from?
going to win a daily. Like I don't think they have a chance of really winning a daily. I think Chauncey is not that great of a competitor. I think his nerves get the best of him and he just overthinks. And it's a combination of like, yeah, it's your first time on the challenge. So you have to like prove yourself and you don't want to embarrass your girlfriend that brought you on. And it's just like this combination that's really fucking him up, I think. But maybe with this elimination win, it boosts his ego a little bit.
Maybe. And
Yeah.
plus, he's a big dude. I don't think I would want to face him in anything physical.
Of course. I
I,
mean, popcorn muscles have been a thing on this show. So we'll see. That's all I'll say. Is this
okay.
another case? We see Chauncey talk with Jordan and kind of makes a deal with him. That was kind of out of the blue. I think it was a smart move, but somehow word got around and Devin knew about it because Devin spilled the beans at the bar to Nelson about this conversation. So maybe Jordan and Devin are closer than we thought, and Jordan told Devin about this Chauncey thing.
Well, no, I thought Devin overheard the conversation
He just
because there was a scene
literally
where they were talking, and then they had cut to like Devin and Tori like sitting together, which looked like they were like out in the hallway,
okay.
and you could just see Devin just kind of like perking his ear out like that.
Okay. Which
I
why
think he
it
overheard
seems
it.
to happen so much. It's like have a conversation quietly. Like somebody shouldn't be able to like sit outside of your door and listen. I feel like that happens so often in challenge seasons.
Right. Like they need to pick better spots to have these
Yeah.
like conversations. Y'all sitting here talking in the middle of the room? Bro,
Yeah.
come on.
So we go out to the bar, a little country theme this time. Cemetery of dead politicians overlooking the bar, which was really cool. Fun fact: difference between cemetery and a graveyard. Do you know?
I don't. What is it?
A graveyard is if it's connected to a church. So if there's no church around, then it's a cemetery. Which is kind of
Oh,
weird because you would think it's reverse. You would think if it's near a
yeah.
church, it would be a cemetery because graveyard is
Cemetery.
so morbid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. And you
Um,
know what? I've been watching a lot of serial killer docs recently.
mm.
So here seeing like cemetery and dead people is just like it was almost like triggering me because it's just like all these docs I've been watching. It's been freaking me out.
Yeah. At least it's a cemetery full of politicians. So.
Right.
um, Bananas tries to reel Darrell in. This was a fun episode. I had a fun time like rewatching and taking notes. So like Bananas tries to reel Darrell into this alliance because Bananas finally real. It's at a time in the game where Bananas needs to do this. So, and that's what Darrell and Veronica realize. It's like, oh, he only is doing this because he needs to do it right now. But you can't really fault that for Bananas because it's not. I'd rather him do something when he needs to do it rather than him do something completely prematurely. Like
Right.
that's the challenge in a
It
nutshell.
showed
Like,
this whole scene showed both of their experience.
mm-hmm.
Like it showed Bananas is playing this right, but it also showed that Darrell is not falling for it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like it just showed their
Which
experience.
I understand. Yeah, I understand you're not falling for it. And maybe it is better for them to side with the Jay and Michelle. But I always go back to you don't want to see Jay and Michelle in a final, especially
Right.
if you're Darrell and Veronica. If you're Darrell and Veronica, I think best case scenario is rocking with the vets because you go to the final with Bananas and Nani. They're the best team out of the vets, and they're not even that great. I mean, Nani hasn't won a final, and then there's Jordan and Anissa. Like, I think you could hedge your bets better against teams like those rather than Jane, Michelle, Nelson, and Nerys. Those type of teams.
They probably took into consideration the lack of connection that they had in the house too, because that's something Darrell and Veronica was kind of struggling with. They weren't really with anybody.
Yeah, going into the house late really, really does
Yeah,
affect you.
like really late. Like it probably affected how they approach it. I wonder had they started with everybody, how different it would be.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Um, do you like this twist in general when teams go into the game late? I mean,
Late.
late. It depends on our definition of late because we've seen Final Reckoning where it's like three challenges before the final. Hunter and Ashley are entering the game, which
Yeah,
is I
I'm
don't
not.
like that.
No, I'm not. I'm a fan of it when it's like, they come in and they're just mercenaries,
Mm-hmm.
right? I like that. That's cool, right? But especially with this one, right? Because at least Final Reckoning, they had to win an elimination to get in.
Yeah,
This one, they just came in and just was just
yeah,
able to just join.
yeah. Like
But
you
in my
skip the
head, I'm
first two
thinking
challenges.
exactly. And so in my head, I'm just thinking, why couldn't they just have started with everybody else?
Yeah,
You're just gonna let them skip a
yeah,
few dailies and not even let them earn their way in?
yeah. Which
What kind of,
makes it kind of seem like this was one of the big twists of the season. Like all
yeah.
these vet pairs, big hitters coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, this was okay. It was cool to see we get reaffirmation that Casey and Fessy are still thick as thieves.
Mm-hmm.
We saw them fall apart on double agents in that final. We thought maybe there would be some turmoil between them, but they're still as close as ever to the point where they're like each other's number ones almost.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be important as we get further into this season because those two teams are kind of in the middle of the road. Casey and
Mm-hmm.
Kenny, Fessy and Mariah. And it's clear, I think it's becoming more and more clear that they're going to side with, obviously, Casey's going to side with Nani. And I think Fessy will follow suit and kind
Right.
of be with them because we saw like Nelson and Nerys and Fessy and Mariah be these like teams in the middle. And I think they are going to separate. We've already seen Nelson and Nerys side with the Jay and Michelle of the house. And now I think Fessy and Mariah will lean towards the Casey, Kenny, Bananas, and Nani side of the
Mm-hmm.
house.
Right.
Yeah.
Which isn't really surprising, at least for um Fessy's side of it. Like I didn't really know if Nelson would go that route to the
Mm-hmm.
Jay and Michelle
Me
route, especially
neither.
this time when they got that team has the most heat too.
Yeah.
But I guess they were feeling good since they had won. But
Yeah. And because like, yeah, I actually when Nelson and Nerys, skipping a little ahead, when they won the daily challenge, I was still confused on what they were gonna do. But
yeah,
then Nelson was just so dead set on I didn't know he came into this game with Jay. I think
yeah,
that's the issue I
uh,
had. Um so yeah, that was strange. Casey with the best quote of the season. It's so Casey. It's Casey in a nutshell. This season's a little interesting because it's interesting. Seriously, explain Casey better with another quote, you know?
oh my god. Oh, Casey, bro.
Yeah.
There's no way, bro. She must have felt if I would have said that if I would have said that like immediately after, I would have been like, why the fuck did I say that? The producers probably heard that shit. They were like, we're 100% locking that in,
Yes.
bro. You're not getting out of it.
But production's like, yo, that conversation has nothing to do with this episode. Then one person's like, I don't care. We're putting that in. Like, uh, gotta
Oh
love
my god,
Casey.
that just like that's Casey. That's
Yeah,
just Casey
that
right there.
is.
That
It
whole
is.
line right there.
It's like,
Unbelievable.
yeah. We get to the daily challenge. Peaking Blinders. You ever see Peaky Blinders on Netflix?
I have not,
Ah,
but I did recognize the reference to
okay, yeah, that's a
heard it.
banger of a show. You need to watch that. It's one of my favorites.
Mhm.
This daily challenge is going to focus on memory and cardio. That's
Mhm.
always it's always a good daily challenge to watch when there's cardio because you really do get to see who's like ready for like a final in a sense.
Mhm.
So you start at your board, you race down a path to your answer key. Each answer key is behind a set of blinds. Only way to reveal the answer key is to stand on a pole with one foot and balance on it for as long as you can. Partner will climb up a ladder and look at the answer key. while you're standing on that pole. Thought it was a cool daily challenge. Not amazing, not bad. I think it was pretty middle of the road.
I think, man, all these dailies have been real forgettable, haven't they?
And the eliminations.
Yeah, a
It's
little bit
weird
too.
how some seasons can just like put out banger after banger of daily challenges and eliminations, and then just like the next season is just like all duds.
Yeah, outside of the one with Horacio and Olivia and Johnny and Raven, all of these dailies and eliminations have been kind of forgettable. Like I'm like having a hard time remembering what the dailies were for like the first like 3 episodes.
Yeah, yeah. The rowing the boat one was probably the most memorable one
Yeah,
for me. But yeah, you're right. It's unfortunate. Hopefully they step up their game here. Um, why are Amber and Chauncey holding hands while running?
because they're a couple
Dude, I
and
feel
they
like that
love
makes
each
it more
other.
difficult to run.
Listen, listen. When you're in that situation,
Okay, I wouldn't know.
okay,
I'm sorry, Adonis. I'm
yeah.
sorry. Mr. Yeah, Mr.
But no, I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know. Fucking whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I thought it was funny. Even like when they were like starting to get heated at each other, they still held hands. I'd be like, "Get the fuck off of me!" Like you couldn't memorize your goddamn pieces. Like, don't touch me. Um, yeah, Veronica's struggling. I mean, we saw that coming with the run. Um, she was struggling so bad. She like got her puzzle pieces and was trying to stick them to the top of the puzzle
Oh
for
yeah,
way too long. Like for way
they
too
was
long.
like laughing at him. They had that like that music in the background,
Yeah.
and it was just like a part of me didn't like the music. I was like, this feels a little disrespectful,
Yeah.
especially to Terrell, bro. Why y'all doing him like that?
I know. I know. Um, Jordan getting frustrated with Anissa for walking. I mean, I get it. I mean, you knew what you were getting yourself into in a way, but in a daily challenge, you gotta at least jog.
See, this is what infuriates me about Anissa because I like Anissa, and
Yeah.
I feel like she has that thing to win, but every season it feels like there's that one moment where she's just like, no, I'm not gonna do it
Yeah.
because I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's
just
like,
like,
yeah.
this is why you
Yeah.
don't win.
That same confessional pissed me off because she exaggerates so much. She's like, no, I'm not going to sprint, Jordan. Like, Jordan's not asking you to sprint. Jordan is asking you to just do a little more than walking.
That's what
Walking
if
is
every
losing. Walking is losing. Like, who
yeah,
have you ever seen a pair walk during a daily challenge and win?
no.
Like, extremely rare.
Yeah. It's so infuriating. Every season you can like pick it out
Yeah.
the moment
Because
that she
Anissa is
says it.
like really talented. So, like, if she just had cardio, she would
Mhm.
have won a challenge a long time ago, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's so infuriating. That's
Yeah.
why I always have a hard time rooting for Anissa because then I think she had said something similar on Double Agents where she paired up with like CT or Fessy, I can't remember, but like it was a run, and
Yeah.
she said something. It might as well have been copy and paste.
She's like,
She
I'm just
said
gonna be
something exactly
comfortable, like
similar.
I'm gonna do me, like almost like as if we're disrespecting her for asking her to try a little bit. Like she
Yeah,
feels disrespected, and it's just like, ugh,
it's
I don't
crazy.
like it.
It's
Not
crazy.
a fan. I am a fan of Nerys though. Ah, she is
Mhm.
impressing me. I was talking
Hey,
shit about Nerys, for the past couple episodes, but she's proven me
that's
wrong.
two. That's two dailies now they
That's
got
too.
under their belt. So it's just like, yo, Nerys,
All
she's
right.
kind of showing out a little bit,
She
bro.
better she better come back for another season. Like getting Nelson
Showing out a
his
little bit.
first daily win in a long time and a second win in the same season. Like she
Mm-hmm.
pretty much locked her spot to come back.
Locked it.
Isn't it
Locked.
weird because like I feel like 5, 6 seasons ago we're talking about, oh, is Nerys going to be a rookie on this season, and then like we forget about her, and then 6 seasons later she's a rookie.
Yeah, like didn't she want to do the show like ages ago? Like back
Yeah.
when like World of Worlds was still going, or
Yeah, I feel
maybe
like she was
before that.
on like Challenge Mania or some type of challenge podcast for some reason and was like, yeah, I really want to be on the show, blah blah blah. And
Mm-hmm.
like people were trying to get her on the show, but I guess it just never worked out. But until
Yeah,
now.
I think her best friend Because I think isn't she from like Are You the One?
Yeah, it was some type of like her best friend got on the show or something.
Or no, her best friend and her both. Because I remember like a tweet of her like ages ago saying like, "Yo, let me and my best friend come do this show, blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah, and we'll kill it." This
yeah,
was like age. This was at least before Total Madness aired.
yeah, for real. I remember that as well.
Mm.
Not sure who the other person was, but yep, good thing Nerys got her chance because she's proving to be a competitor. So,
Mm.
um, yeah, there was two teams like where they had to go for one more run, and all they had was two puzzle pieces left to put in. And I'm
Mm.
just like, why not just like keep guessing? Like check, check. But production must have been like, you can't do that. You have to go run because they did
Mm.
that. Nelson and Nerys did that, and Devin and Tori also did that. So
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
production always has some like unsaid rules.
that they don't air, and then
Yeah,
find out afterwards on a podcast or
yeah,
somewhere.
because especially like Devin and Tori who like who went to the answer key after Nelson and Nerys, it's like, you're already behind them. They're on their last run. You might as well just fucking put some pieces together and say check.
Mm. So
Um,
just Hail Mary at that point.
exactly. Yeah. It's the only option.
Mm.
So Nelson and Nerys win. Nelson does not want to win. It's so funny. He hates being in this position. He hates and loves it. It's a weird
Yeah.
combination this season
All
because
the seasons he wants to win a daily. Finally, he's winning the dailies, and now he just doesn't want it.
yeah, and it's the season where you have to nominate four teams.
Yeah, so it's just like, of course, right?
Yeah, making all these enemies for future seasons. Even though he's trying to do a good job at like respecting everybody and being honest. I think he dropped the ball with like the whole Amber situation, which we'll get to. So after the win, we see a little chat between Nelson, Devin, and Jay, and this is where Devin is surprising me. Devin is just like going all out against Bananas and Nani in that side of the house, which I just didn't think he was. I didn't think that's the position he was in. Yeah, they're talking about what Nelson should do. Devin wants Bananas and Nani to be directly put in. Not only does he want Bananas and Nani to be voted in, but he wants them to be the vote that sends them in. The vote. That surprised me. So we get to deliberation. It seems like, Devin is dead set on like again with the new winners type of strategy and
Yeah, he hates what is the saying? He wants new champs.
yeah, new
It's
champs.
old champs or something
Yeah,
like
it's like what's gonna happen when you become a champ? I can't wait. I don't know if
that.
that'll
Yeah.
happen, but
Yeah, like is it gonna flip now? Like, oh,
champs
all of a
only,
sudden he
champs
was
only. Yeah.
champ? Okay, bro. Hope someone just sticks it to him if he ever wins. Just be like, no,
Yeah.
I want new champs.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Deliberation. Nerys and Nelson end up voting in Bananas and Nani, Darrell and Veronica, Anissa and Jordan, and Amber and Chauncey. Um,
This is where isn't this is where like everyone like gathered around and noticed that Tori and Devin wasn't.
yeah, at this point, if their name is not on the board, then it's so obvious that they have some inner workings going on. It's just
Yeah.
too obvious. And that's where I agree with Tori, where it's like, we're getting too much, we're going to get too much heat on us. Like it's going to get exposed. This is the moment where it gets exposed. I think maybe Devin should have like made sure he was safe in this vote, but also had conversations with the vets, like I'm going to work with you guys, until the end of the game. I don't know. Yeah, the whole house is
The whole
sketchy.
house
The
took
whole
notice,
house.
especially Bananas and Nani. They were like the last team to leave that spot, and they were just sitting there talking about it. They're just
Yeah.
like,
And Nani already had a feeling that
yeah. They were treating it like detectives. They were just like,
yeah.
going on here?
And do a little acting, Devin. Like they're not even out looking at the teams being nominated. It seems like Devin's just playing pool, and that's what Bananas
Yeah.
keeps saying. It's like Devin's not even like worried every time these names go up on the board. Like there has to be a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like another MTV edit that was super obvious for me at least was like the amount of people having a confessional saying all Nelson has to do is vote Bananas and Nani in. Like, how can you screw this up? It's like, all right, who's gonna put a target on their back from now until they have to
Yeah.
make that vote? Um, yeah, like you said, everyone's sketched out by Devin and Tori. We get to the interrogations. Nelson, tries to butter everybody up. I think he's grown a lot as a challenger, and then I think
He
he
has.
he
He really
has, and he did a
it's
good job in
unbelievable.
my opinion. Like the best he could have done when voting in four teams,
I know, it's
until
unbelievable.
the end. I think he should have probably voted in Bananas and Nani as the direct vote the whole time, but Nelson guarantees that Darrell and Veronica aren't going in. Nelson tells Amber that she's not in her top four. It's like
Yikes.
clearly,
Yikes.
yeah.
Oh man.
Um, but yeah, I mean, Nelson tries to like buddy with everyone. He's like telling Jordan, like, you're not going in, you're not going to be the main vote, blah, blah, blah. I think, yeah, we get to this is a second night out, second little club scene from the episode. Nelson rats out Amber for talking shit about Devin. Little things like this that won't matter too much in real life, like when it's in a challenge house, it just blows up, you
I
know?
know. And wasn't it like wasn't it Nerese who originally like told uh
Yeah.
Nelson that Amber was over there talking shit about Devin?
Yep.
Then
Yeah.
it was like the Nelson went to Devin, Devin went to blah blah blah, and then that's what I said. It's like it was like a game of telephone. It
Yeah.
was unbelievable to watch.
It's
Like
hilarious.
it was each scene like it was just like a story
Yeah.
in front of us.
Yeah. Devin blows up. Um, they do try to redistribute the heat, which I think is a smart tactic because there's so much heat on them. They have to do something. So he tries, pointing the finger to Amber. There's some merit to it, but Devin's, it's like, calling the kettle black, whatever that saying is. The team, it's like Devin's the one scheming around, but he's trying to make it look like other people are scheming around.
Yeah.
Everyone's scheming around. That's the name of this game when you have to vote in four teams, I think. It's like you want to be friendly with everybody and don't win a daily challenge. And it's like, fuck, I won a daily challenge. Like, god damn it. That's what
Yeah.
it feels like every time.
That whole like situation with Devin and Michelle was
Oh my god.
was hilarious because it was like it was just them two at first. And then
Yeah.
there was a weird edit and then everyone just spawned.
You know what it
Out of nowhere.
reminded me of? CT and
What?
Kyle from I
Yeah.
think Spies, Lies, and Allies, where just like CT was like clearly scheming around and like, being schemy or whatever, being slimy, and then like tried throwing it all on Kyle and like
Yeah. To make
shouting so the
Kyle
whole
look.
house could hear it and just like, yeah.
Yeah. And then there was a scene where you saw like Horacio, Darrell, I think it was Amber, and I forget who that fourth person is. There was like that surveillance camera in
Yeah.
their room. I was like, I need the full footage of that.
Yeah,
Because
it's like some
I
Big
was
Brother
living
shit.
for Darrell's little comment during that whole thing.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
would just
Darrell's
come back
hilarious.
and Darrell would just be like, oh, they talking about you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
That shit was so funny,
And he was
bro.
just like, yo, Michelle's the type of person that's just like, yo, like, can we just stop this? I regret
Yeah.
everything. Like, I don't want to talk. Yeah, Darrell's
Oh
little
my god,
side comments are so funny.
funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah, Devin, this I don't like this Devin. He's like trying to strong arm Michelle for no reason. It's just
Mhm.
like you're just like antagonizing her to make her admit that Amber was talking shit about you. Like, why does this matter?
Right. I don't know. It feels weird. It feels like Devin's trying to play completely differently. I think he had a confessional where he was like, "Oh, you're not a player like me isn't gonna win the challenge with these like gauntlet of challengers in here. So I
Yeah.
have to do something different to make it far or whatever."
That's
Which is
weird. I
like,
feel like it's just a soundbite because it's like these vicious challengers you're talking about are all partnered with a hindrance. So it's like they're not these dominant vets because they're partnered with somebody who's not that dominant. And you're choosing to align yourself with people who are dominant. So it's confusing.
Yeah. And it was also crazy because it was like seeing Devin arguing with Michelle when literally at the beginning of the episode, he was like, I'm willing to renegotiate the deal with them.
Yeah.
Then it was just like, damn, how did like if you skipped ahead, you'd be so confused of what was happening. You'd be like, no, what? I thought y'all were good.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah, that's true. And now it seems like they're not going to be moving forward in this game with Michelle and Jay, which sets them up to fall back to the Vet Alliance. But will the Vet Alliance welcome them? Are they too suspicious of what Devin has been, working on? Will somebody spill the beans and say that, yes, Devin and Tori were working with Michelle and Jay? Or will that be swept under the rug and they could just go back to the vets like nothing happened?
Yeah.
So we'll see. But Devin did look super insecure in that conversation with Michelle because Michelle's like, yeah, like what are we even talking about? Like, I just don't want to be in the middle of this. Like, Amber's my friend. Like, I don't want to like talk shit about anyone. Can we just not talk about this? Like, why does it matter?
What is even going on? This is where I was like, I was team Michelle all the way. I was just
me
like,
too.
I was just like, bro, what? What the fuck?
Yeah.
What's happening right now?
Yeah, just
How did
like
we get
stop
here?
Yeah, just stop fucking talking shit to Michelle. Like, she didn't do anything. If anything, she's helped you guys throughout this whole season.
Exactly. So it's just like, what the fuck? If I was
Yeah.
Michelle, I'd be like, what the fuck is the matter with you, bro?
So yeah, it's just like, so let me boil it down. So I've saved you on 2 separate daily challenges, but me being friends with Amber and her talking shit about you is like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
Like, very strange.
come on, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, so
That's
I guess
great.
they're not working together. We'll see. We get to the elimination. Nelson, you almost had it. You almost had it, Nelson.
Yeah. Oh, and also, side note, real quick, there was like a confessional with Bananas who had been hearing the Devin and Michelle argument, and
Yeah.
Bananas like this sounds like Wes talking,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
That's like
the
Wes.
second time he brought up Wes.
Wes loves when his name is brought up when he's not even on the season. He fucking loves that.
Like he's just eating that shit up.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh yeah,
Yes, talk about me. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we get to the elimination. Nelson switches it up and votes in Amber and Chauncey. Not a good move, especially when Bananas and Nani pull a safe dagger.
Yeah, oh, fuck, man, that's so crazy.
Somebody put up a graphic on Twitter. It's like, what a crazy good alliance, winning the last 4 daily challenges, and the 4 teams that were sent home were like the worst teams ever. Like Nelson and Nerys and Jay and Michelle won the last 4 daily challenges, but what happened? Kim and Colleen went home, Veronica and Darrell went home, and then
Laurel and Jack,
which were probably the best teams out of the 4, but they weren't winning any daily challenges. And then there was another team, but it's just like, all right. But yeah, so elimination. Yeah, Bananas and Nani pull the safe dagger, and they obviously save Jordan and Anissa. We know Nani and Anissa have a better relationship than like Nani and Veronica or Darrell and Bananas. So that was kind of obvious.
I wonder if Bananas and Nani had saved Darrell and Veronica, that with that conversation with Bananas and Darrell earlier, would Darrell have been more willing to work with them had they saved them?
Yeah, that's a good point. And maybe Darrell is beating himself up for like not being more willing to make a deal at that point.
Yeah.
But you never know. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that would have like solidified them saving them because of like Nani and Anissa's relationship.
And Bananas and Jordan's relationship.
Yeah, true.
So it's like,
which is stronger than Darrell and Bananas for sure. Yeah.
I would say, yeah.
So it's Amber versus Darrell, which I've grown to kind of like this storyline of Amber or like Darrell being the role model for Amber and like showing her the ropes of the challenge. I'm a fan of that storyline. So it was
The
sad to see.
classic master versus student storyline.
Mm, yeah, for sure. Deep Web was the elimination. It's funny because I almost feel like we've seen Veronica compete in the exact same elimination before.
Yeah,
Was
like
it Dirty
on
30
Dirty
against
30.
Anissa?
Yeah.
Or
And
I don't think
also
it was against Anissa, but yeah.
also like how this the first elimination that I was reminded of with just how it was structured. Remember that elimination on Rivals 2 with Zach and Trey
Yeah,
versus Leroy and Ty with
yeah.
down the tower?
Like the
That's what
three
I popped in
stages.
my head.
I loved
Yeah.
that elimination. They really haven't gone back to something like that. I like the three stages, like three different things to unlock the next stage. I thought that
Yeah.
was really cool. And yeah, the ending for that elimination was wild because like they cheated and they didn't know and they thought they
Yeah, and Zach
won.
had threw his helmet and it hit Jordan
It
and Jordan threw
almost
it back.
it would have if you didn't duck, yo. That shit would have been crazy. But yeah, deep web, you start on the roof of a tower, you go down one at a time, going through netting to retrieve puzzle pieces. There's 8 puzzle pieces, so you need to do this 8 times. And then you solve the puzzle at the top. Pretty straightforward, easier to go down than it is to go up. Right, Veronica?
Yeah, like some stairs. Like stairs, right?
No, stairs are
Tell
easier
me
to
I'm
go
wrong.
up.
Tell
I
me it's
mean,
harder to go up some stairs versus going down them.
I guess so, but it
Yeah.
seemed way harder to go up this netting than to go down. And Veronica could testify to that because that big booty V. Yeah, that shit looked rough. Yeah, it was just her butt was just too big.
This is where I got to be careful when I talk because my girlfriend watches these podcasts, so I'm not
Okay,
I'm
okay.
not going to comment on
I'll
that.
just cover this elimination.
Yeah, you take care of this.
But yeah, but proud of Veronica. She persevered and she ended up figuring out a technique to get up this netting. And honestly, I didn't think she was gonna. So I was actually very proud to see that because I thought she was going to be stuck at the bottom of that thing for the whole elimination.
And you know what? Honestly, we give Veronica like a lot of like a hard time, but I think she proved that like legends will find a way to figure it out.
Yeah, we saw Tori
Find a
say
way.
something, or maybe it was Tori. Somebody said something like that, where it's like it's cool to see like this vet strength. I think it was Jordan, maybe like a
Yeah,
vet figured it out. Like a vet always figures it out.
yeah, they'll figure it out some way.
Um, yeah, elimination wasn't too fun to watch. I could have just went without watching it and just saw whoever completed the puzzle. Amber and Chauncey got a pretty big head start on the puzzle, but both teams took forever. How long do you think this took? It seemed like at least an hour or something like
Yeah,
that.
an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh
Like
my
I
gosh.
don't know why they were struggling so hard. That whatever puzzle they did for that, they have to add it to some of the other ones
Yeah.
because some people be just flying through. But yo, can we talk about how Amber was just like I was getting worried with when she was going down. She's
Yeah.
so skinny that she
Dude.
could have just like fell and broke her
Broke
ankle.
broke her ankles, bro. She looked like a cartoon character
She was
being
just like, whoop,
slingshotted down
just
that thing.
yeah, exactly. It was just
Yeah.
like, yo, what the
It's like she
fuck?
was made for this elimination or something. Amber is a good cast member. I like watching her compete. I think she excels in a lot of competitions and she obviously brings the drama, whether or not there's merit to all of these women being suspicious of her or
Yeah.
not. She is a good addition to the show. I like every time she's on the season. And she's I'll say this so you don't have to. She's gorgeous. That's all. That's it. um Amber and Chauncey win. Did you think one team was going to win over the other, like from the edit or the confessionals? Were you leaning towards one team?
Um, at the beginning of the elimination, it looked like it's really when they got to the puzzle where I was like neutral because it was just like,
Yeah.
bro, how have y'all not figured this out yet?
Mm-hmm.
It was unbelievable, and in my head, I thought that Veronica would be better at doing puzzles than both Amber and Chauncey. So when
Yeah.
they got up there and Amber and Chauncey wasn't done yet, I was like, oh shit, the real Veronica might steal one here,
Yeah.
But no, I didn't. I was leaning more towards Amber and Chauncey at the beginning, but I was really neutral once they hit that puzzle.
Yeah, it was up in the air. I was kind of leaning towards Amber and Chauncey. I was starting to think about like how much airtime they were getting in the beginning of the episode, and I was like, maybe they're set to go home. Like, I don't know. I was like overthinking it. But
Yeah,
nonetheless, Amber and Chauncey did win. They are still in the house, which is again best case scenario for chaos in the house. Like we saw Laurel and Jack win an elimination where it's like, yes, if they go back in the house, there's going to be so much chaos, which we usually don't see. We usually see that team go home. So Amber and Chauncey going back in the house is going to be exciting for the remainder of the season. More exciting than if Darrell and Veronica went into the house on a drama standpoint.
yeah, that's been happening a lot this season. I love it. With like first, it was like Laura and Jack coming back, and then Jordan and Nisa came back, and now Amber and Chauncey are coming back.
Yeah.
Like, give me this chaos, bro.
Yes.
Give it to me. I want all of it.
Yeah.
I need it.
For real. One thing I was happy to hear from Darrell, he says it won't be the last time we see him because after the All-Stars 3 elimination where he lost to Jordan, he said, like, I don't know when I'm going to come back, if I'm going to come back. So it was surprising to see him on this season. And I guarantee he doesn't want to go out like this, you know?
Yeah, I think he wants he wants to win again. I don't think he wants to settle for a final. I think he wants to win again because I feel like recently a lot of people have been kind of talking out of pocket when it comes to Darrell. He hasn't made it to the final in at least for the flagship show in the last couple seasons that he has done.
Yeah.
And people are kind of popping off at the mouth talking about he's overrated, which is
that's
crazy.
It's a victim of circumstance because like the beginning of his career he was winning so much. So like every time he doesn't win now, it's like, oop, that's a hit to your legacy. Oop, like that's a hit. That's a hit.
Same thing happened with Bananas during those 6 seasons where he just couldn't reach the final, bro.
Yeah, we were starting to question. But I will never question Darrell. Darrell's a fucking beast.
Unbelievable, but I'm excited. I hope me and Daniel will talk about it all the time. Like, if he's not on next season, he's got to be on 40.
Yeah, yeah. I think 40 is going to line up to be amazing. I think CT might take a couple seasons off and go back on 40. So if we see like a CT, Darrell, Bananas, Jordan, Wes, get those 5 people in a house and I'm fucking giddy. You know,
and I'm locked. You got me.
Yeah,
you got me.
maybe bring a Kara back.
Oh, you definitely got me. You got me right there.
Yeah, bro.
I'm locked in. I'm already
Amanda action in there. Put Amanda, Kara in the same house. Like, let's get some old beefs back in this game.
Yeah, let's get it going.
Yeah. For sure. I will finish it off with saying best teammate award goes to Darrell in general. No matter who this guy's teammates with, he does not bash them in any way. And he was
never talks bad. He always supports them, roots them. I mean, Darrell is the partner that you want.
Yeah.
In every season.
There's not too many like really good natured people that go on this show.
Yeah.
Darrell, Leroy, top of the list that I could think of.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Landon goes up there too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Darrell especially, he's like my number one. I mean, it's unbelievable. I feel like it's literally you put anyone else in Darrell's position, they giving Veronica a hard time, anything like that.
Yeah.
He did not say one thing bad about Veronica.
Like I don't think I would be able to do that. I think I would be the type of person that Jordan is acting like with Anissa. It's like, I know we're not gonna, make any new records here, but you can't walk. Like, I would get a little upset. So kudos to Darrell. Darrell is my little brother's favorite challenger. And I went to my mom's house on Thanksgiving and he was wearing like a Darrell shirt and didn't see this new episode yet. So I was like, ugh. Yeah.
Like you knew it's about to be a bad time for him.
Yeah. So I'm sure he had a rough time watching that, but I'm sure he also had a sense of reality when he knew he was partnered with Veronica going into this season. So shout outs to Veronica though. She proved herself in a lot of ways. She did say she wants to come back in better shape, so hopefully that happens. It's always fun to see vets on this show, no matter who they are. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, 100%. I think Veronica should be on 40 as well. If we're talking
Yeah.
about 40.
Honestly, 40 should just be like vets versus like old school versus new school or some shit.
Yeah, or something, bro. Just get all these big name vets.
Yeah.
Get them all.
Yeah. All right. That wraps up this episode. I hope you all have enjoyed our breakdown for it. Um, feel free to leave comments about the episode, about our thoughts, about anything, like the podcast, subscribe to the channel, do all that jazz. But yep, thank you again, Adonis, for joining me from, every week. It's so fun. I love talking about the challenge, especially with my boys. So thank you.
Hashtag Tommy and Donnie.
Oh, fuck, Tommy and Donnie. Yo, you got to remind me
Hashtag
before the
Tommy and
episode. Yeah. Hashtag Tommy and Donnie. Tom
Yeah,
and the Don.
Yeah. The Tom and the Don, bro.
Tom and the Don, yo. Tommy and
Tom and the
Donnie.
Don, bro.
Don.
Oh,
You talking to me? You talking to me?
you talking to me?
You talking to Tom and the Don?
Pass me my cigar.
Come on
You
now.
talking to me? I'll smack you across your mouth.
You must not know Tom and the Don. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
All right, peace out, Adonis.